Okay, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Alpha Interactions, nice to hear from you. From Cork City and Ireland. Yes, sounds lovely. Tyrone, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, mate. Danish Bacon, yo, Eddie, what's your local beats like, mate? It's not as good as the ones in Southeast Asia. A bit grim, really. Rudolph Jacobs, hi, Eddie, have a nice Sunday. Okay, thank you. Ben Leno, Edward Elizabeth Sweeney. What are you trying to say? He's trying to say that I'm like, what's the phrase? Well, I can't even remember the bloody word now, but trying to say that I'm one of them. Ian UK, how do I? I didn't expect this. Neither did I, mate. I just thought, it's Sunday and who's around on a Sunday? Martin McCormick, nice to hear from you. Gary Hughes, yes. Danish Bacon, it's the Sweeney and he hasn't had his dinner yet. Okay, Tinkerbell, you're nicked. Okay. William the First, can I get a hell yeah? Well, it's afternoon now, so hell yeah. Andrew Johnson, evening, Eddie, off to the movies now. Late night showings again. You're off to the movies, Andrew. Late night showings again. So you are in Pattaya, and it is after 10 o'clock at night. That sounds good. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. I've noticed something. I have noticed something. There's daylight coming through the windows. Isn't the image much brighter? Don't I look much brighter than, I had a shave? And the thing about doing these regular live streams, it kind of makes me get a shave more often. Otherwise I wouldn't bother. Look, where am I now? Okay, have a great night, Eddie. Anyway, Andrew, nice to hear from you. Alec Waters, hi, Eddie. Good to see you on Friday night with Peter. It was in good fun. You're so funny. Thank you. Well, I don't know. I mean, Peter and I can talk. We can talk together. And, I did say the first one went on for about 4.5 hours. And, it's daunting doing that. But you know what? It's time passes and what's the heart? There were still people watching in his chat. He's got a really buoyant channel now. So, yeah, I enjoyed that. Ben Leno, it's some bottom comedy in the 90s. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, is that what it is? Bloody good stuff. Rick Mail and Adrian, whatever his name is. Gary Hughes, the diehards are in, Ed. Have you recovered from Friday night? Yeah, I have now, because this is Sunday. But you know what? Jesus Christ. On Sunday, yesterday, I actually planned a big night out yesterday because Liverpool was playing in the FA Cup final, which they won. And I was planning on going out early and, hitting the beer and, staying out and, whatever. But it just didn't. I just didn't feel up to it. I was hungover so much. I had to give it a miss. I'm at that age now where I can't do 8 or 9 hour nights out anymore. I just can't do that. I just haven't got the energy. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 hours is about enough for me. Definitely. Stephen 4X, afternoon, Eduardo. It seems you were in fine form today, mate. Thank you. Danish Bacon, stand up and show us the T-shirt, please, Eddie. Okay, it's one of them. Is it a Ghost Rider? Is that what it is? It's a Ghost Rider T-shirt. Let me see now. I've watched these things over and over and over again, but it's comfortable. You know what I mean, man? It's comfortable. I got lots of black T-shirts. Like, I do believe in fairies. Yeah, so do I. Yeah, let's see. My dentist is he's gay. Like you know what I mean. I call him the tooth fairy. Okay, Andrew Johnson. No alcohol today. Big Buddha day. Yeah, that's in Thailand. No alcohol. You can get maybe you've surreptitious, in your fridge, that maybe stock up with that sort of stuff. But yeah, okay. Well, I hope you get through it well, mate. Anyway, yeah, go to the movies. That sounds like a good idea to me. Bernard Purcell. Hi, Ed. Looking good. Okay, thank you. Stephen Fordex, enjoyed the stream the other night. Latest I've been up for a while. Yeah, I mean, Peter and I, have a good little, rapport together on screen. And, when you do that, time just passes. It passes, and before you know it, it clocked up 4 hours. And I'd opened a bottle of Hennessy, and it was lovely. And it was too lovely because I drank a fair bit of it. So anyway, it's 4:15 on a Sunday afternoon. I've never done a stream at this time before on either channel. Let's see. Enjoy the show, you know. Ian UK, Ed booked flights yesterday going December for 6 weeks. Cost seven. Ian UK, Ed booked flights yesterday going December for 6 weeks. Cost 780 return. Well, that sounds reasonable. You know something? I've never actually got a flight to Thailand in the month of December. Either I've been in that vicinity in other countries, but I've never actually flown from the UK. I was assuming you're talking about the UK, from the UK to Bangkok in the month of December. I mean, that's peak. That is peak. That is the peakest of the peak. So it probably, for a return ticket, that probably is a good price. Well done. Treetown, hey up there, Ed. Hope you're well. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. Jimmy Huff, hi Eddie. I'm thinking of going to Pattaya in July. Do you think it'll be good then? Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it will. I think it will be good. I've said this before, but I mean, July is. I just mentioned a moment ago. December is peak of the peak. July is very, very much the low season, but there will be. It probably won't be that bad because you will get more people who've got surplus cash for when they didn't go there on the holiday in the winter time. So I think it'll be lively. Go there. The weather might be a bit hit and miss. You know, you can get some rain there. You can get rain anytime, but more so in a month like July or August. But I think you'll do okay. They've relaxed some of the bars. I mean, just as I was leaving, they relaxed some of the bar times, and now I don't know, is it midnight or drinking up time, midnight or something like that. I think you'll do all right there. I think you'll do all right. Juan Carlos, bro, the girls that are mongering in Costa Rica are so nice and hot. Don't know why you had a mediocre experience. I don't think the selection gets any better than Costa Rica. Well, maybe I went to the wrong place. I went to a variety of places. There was one beach I went to in Costa Rica. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it's quite a well-known. And I know, my God, the water was like bloody brown dirt. It was horrible. Costa Rica, the idea that it's beautiful and exotic, and it's not all like that. Well, good luck to you anyway. Good luck to you. Might give it another go. You never know. Treetown. Let's see, Treetown. Okay, we've done this. Danish Bacon, you finished that bottle of Hennessy, yeah? No, not yet. I'm planning to. Oh, I will do, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Archie West, let's see. Cy London, hi Eddie, in Athens, at a good city. After your recommendations, it's great. I'm glad to hear it. Do you know something? Greece was a really pleasurable experience. I like Greece a lot. I like the islands of Crete, and I've also been to Rhodes. And Athens. Athens is a big capital city. You know, I stayed in a small portion of Athens, and you know what? I can't remember what it's called, but it is there on the videos, where everything was sort of like within walking distance. And it was good. I thought what I loved about the Greek people, they were very, very friendly. And you eat a really nice meal there. And after you've had a nice meal, some of the eateries are quite expensive, but you can always find a cheaper one. There's always one that's going with really, really good value. And I found one in the main central square in that area. I can't remember what it was called. But what I like about them, after you've at your meal or paid your bill, on the house, they'll always bring out a nice large jug of white wine for you or whatever. It's nice. We're bloody good stuff. I found Greece and Athens to be a most pleasurable experience. There is a video on this channel, an Athens walkabout, which goes on about 40 odd minutes. So I would check out of that one. It's a walking video. I done it when I was in Athens. It is there. Neil Fleet, nice to hear from you in Wavertree. Okay, how's it going? Nice to hear from you. El Terrifico, steady on a Sunday. What dreams are made of? Thank you, mate. Thank you. You're in Australia, so what time would that be now? Would that be in the early hours of the morning there? I believe it's early, but nice to hear from you, mate. Archie Westmoreland, bring back Roger or Dodger. I think we sort of exhausted Roger. Now, what I'll do with this channel, by the way, I'm not so much on this particular stream, but now that I've got StreamYards and I've sussed things out, I'll be a little bit more sophisticated, and I'll bring things onto the stream. You know, rather than just hold a bloody iPad or a mobile phone up to the screen, primitive stuff. I'll get stuff. I'll use it. Get stuff on there. I'll come to date and get stuff on the screen. Although I haven't said that, what I found with my videos on my other channel, the better I get a camera work and technology, the more my viewing figures tend to go down. I mean, it's the primitive ones with the crap photography. They seem to get the better views, funnily enough. Duffler, it's about your bedtime, isn't it, Ed? Not necessarily. Well, I sleep whenever I feel like it. Absolutely, just whenever I feel like it. To be honest with you, Duffler, it's Damon. Nice to hear from you, Damon. Okay, Ed, hope all's well. Regards, Damon. Okay, good to hear from you, Damon. Always a pleasure. Bernard Purcell, hit the like button. Okay, there you go. We'll start putting these on the screen. Hit the like button. Okay, guys, it does help push the video out there. Even though this is not a spectacular stream, it's what I need the watch time. I do need the watch time. I'm up to about 3,500 hours of watch time on this channel, which is more than what I thought, to be honest with you. Because some of those videos are done. A few of them have got half decent views, not brilliant, but not so bad. Views, but I need the watch time to get to 4,000 hours so that I can start getting a few adverts. Not while I'm right here talking to you now, but at the beginning and the end, it all helps. It all helps. Andrew Johnson, up to 2 a.m. now, Eddie. The go-go's are open, including high rollers. Oh, that's good. That's good. I went into high rollers with Andrew. We had a drink in there, and it's a good gaff. It's a good gaff. Check out high rollers. Highly recommended. Up to 2 a.m. now. Oh, that's more like it, isn't it? I'm pleased to hear that. I'm really, really pleased to hear that. But is up to 2 a.m. now. Okay, so for everyone who's planning on going there. Thanks for that info anyway, Andrew. Let's see, where are we? Thailand bound. Haha, you at it again. Okay, nice to hear from you, Peter. Nice to hear. Yeah, I just thought I'd try this. I've never done a Sunday afternoon stream. I've only gone either channel. Let me just tell you, with this channel, it's called Steady Eddy Live, and there will be a lot of live stuff. Now, there's a little bit of a drawback, okay? I would like in an afternoon, especially during the summertime, and this isn't summertime here now, it's cold, the weather's crap here. But during the summertime, I would like to go out with my mobile phone and do a live stream, from a seat in IRL in real life around, the area or the nearby surrounding areas. I did it in Thailand in, various, and it went well with a Thai SIM card, true. And it went well and it was good fun and it got a good response. The problem is that I live in the southwest of England and the reception here is bloody awful. It's I can make the effort to go to a place nearby to do an outdoor live stream, but I'd probably get crap reception in a lot of them. I really, really would. I mean, I have Vodafone, and this is the southwest of England. I think, David Cameron, our former Prime Minister, he liked a holiday in the southwest of England, but didn't he have to cut one of his holidays short simply because he was fed up not being able to get a decent reception on his phone? So I'd really like to do some outdoor walking live streams, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Tom Streeter, what are your travel plans for the next few months? Well, I haven't actually got any right now, but I am watching a lot of Eastern European stuff. Some countries, maybe a country that I haven't been to before, like Romania or Albania. And I wouldn't mind squeezing in another Greek island like Corfu, because as I mentioned before, I really, really do like the climate and everything about the Greek islands is wonderful. So, simply for that reason. But I haven't got anything booked just yet. Let's see. El Terrifico. Canada, Toronto. Canada, it's Toronto. So you're about so it's early morning there, then, isn't it? It's or late morning. Okay, well, nice to hear from you anyway, mate. Yeah. Let's see. Who is this now? Let's see. Now, where am I? Who's that? Stephen 4X. Don't ask me about sophistication. I've been to Leeds. I'm sure it's a lovely place. Stephen 4X. Whenever I hear someone say sophisticated, I hear that Harry Enfield sketch. Don't know that one. I don't know that one. It's bloody good. Calm down. Bloody hell, Christ almighty. Yeah, he was good, Harry Enfield. I like him. Super Stephen. Hello, Eddie. You're going Miss Thailand. Oh, I wouldn't mind having a go at Miss Thailand. Oh, you mean I'm going to miss? Oh, yeah, of course I'll miss Thailand. It'll be fun. 4 months of over-the-top indulgence. You know, I mean, okay, that's being a bit bombastic. You know, it wasn't over-the-top indulgence, but I did eat and drink too much. I know that much. But I had 4 months. It was like having a long night out. At the end of the day, it's got to come to an end. No regrets. You know, it's come to an end. And one thing is, I managed to do the whole 4 months without once being dragged off to bloody hospital to spend 10 days in the quarantine hotel. The only quarantine I did was the first night arriving in Bangkok, and that was only about 10 hours or something like that. So not a problem. So I got off lightly. I know of people who went there for a few weeks and ended up in a quarantine hotel for 10 days. So I got off lightly. So I thought I'd quit when the going was good. Stephen 4X, you should announce this stream on your main channel. Yeah, it's a good idea. Thanks for that idea, mate. Thanks for that idea. Neil Fleet, we've all got sore heads in Wavertree after a certain team won the FA Cup. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I actually seen it on TV. I was supposed to, go to the pub and have a night out, but I couldn't. I had something wrong yesterday. I just couldn't make it. I mean, nowadays, when I go out with people, I have a tendency to drink too much and too fast, and I just, wasn't in the right frame of mind for it. So I had to give that one a miss. Sean the Prawn. Hello, Sean the Prawn. Nice to hear from you. Johnny B. Hey, Steady. You look very well, pal, and not 60 at all. Okay, thanks for that. What's your secrets of eternal youth? Okay, cheers. I don't know. Plenty of shagging. How about that sort of stuff? The massage girls keep me youthful. That's what you wanted to hear, isn't it? Go on, admit it. Okay. Sean the Prawn. In UK, Andrew J. No soapies though. No soapies. Let's see. Who's this? Stephen 4X. Sunday sermon is in session. Sunday sermon is in session. You're not talking about stars on Sunday. That's not still on the TV in the Sunday tea time, is it? With Jess Yates, supposed father of Paula Yates, when really her real father was Hughie Green. Oh my God. Paul Hoskin, nice to hear from you, mate. It might be. Is this the first time you've been on this channel? Is Little Ed missing the soapy massages? I didn't have any soapy massages this time, but I'll try and make up for it next time. Seamus Doherty, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Seamus Doherty, I'd love to see you go to South America or Africa. Well, the first one, I mean, I've spent about 6 months in South America and also in the Central American Cup. Yeah, I wouldn't mind another trip there. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Africa, the only place in Africa I've been to is Ethiopia. And it's very, very cultural. Well, there's some lovely beers there, but I don't think it was. I've got an idea that that's typical of African countries. That they don't like you pointing the camera at them. They don't like the camera. I don't think I've ever been in a country where they hate the camera so much. Except for Malaysia, they don't like it either. Stephen Forex, no restrictions in Croatia and Slovenia. Now I've heard both of those. See, I haven't been to either of those countries, and I have heard that they are really, really lovely countries. Lovely countries. In UK, be careful with the cameras around that region. Bulls and Bankrupt got nicked recently on the border. Yeah, I did hear about that. I did hear about that. Let's see now. Stephen Forex just said Harry Enfield Yorkshireman on YouTube. Okay, yeah, well, okay, I'll give that a go sometime. Bloody good stuff. I'll tell you what, let's talk a little bit about comedians, past comedians, okay? About past comedians. Now, if you go back to the 60s and 70s, there were some absolutely awesome comedians. Absolutely awesome comedians. I mean, you know, there was Bernard Manning and I didn't like Morecambe and Wise. You know, I didn't like them, but you had the two Ronnies, people like that. They were absolutely wonderful. I mean, the two Ronnies, both of them, absolutely both of them were fantastic. I love the two Ronnies, and you had other comedians. Slipped my mind. He was, you know, John Cleese, of course, Monty Python, absolutely wonderful air of a comedy. But the other night, I sat with a friend. We were skipping through YouTube, and we watched what was probably, and they were quite popular at the time, probably the worst comedy duo of all time. In the night, I won't give you the answer. Let's see if anyone here can guess. There's a video on YouTube. And we watched an episode. They had a TV series. I think the series ran for they seemed to be on the TV in the early 70s quite a lot. I remember them when I was a kid. And it was a duo. And you know, I'm not going to say any more than that, but they were a comedy duo. There was the comedian, the supposedly funny one, and the straight man. And we watched this episode, and I haven't even heard of them for a very, very long time. And just for nostalgia, we watched an episode of this comedy series, and oh my God, they were awful. They were how the hell did they have become comedians in the first place? They were bloody awful. Now, I'm not going to tell you, give it away. See if anyone can guess who I'm talking about. Yeah, Nomad Overseas says Cannon and Ball. No, Cannon and Ball were 1980s, and for some reason I didn't watch TV in the 1980s. I can't remember what I was bloody doing at the time, but I didn't watch TV. It wasn't I'm talking about the early 70s. Okay, I'll give you a clue. Anyone else? I'll give you the clue. I will give you the clue. Danish Bacon. No, they're modern day. They're modern day. You know, they're Steptoe, Wonder at 299, Little and Large. No, they were funny. I'm talking about. There's an obvious clue I could give you. Someone, but this I used to see them on the TV. They used to be on like early evening. They've done a few series, and honestly, God, they let the side down because there were so many great comedy shows around in those days, and these were. Oh, they were awful. They were totally unfunny. They were about as funny as a bloody road accident. They were as funny as a Rock Hudson at a blood transfusion center. That's how funny they were. Oh my God, they were terrible. Let's see. Okay. I do believe in fairies. He's got it. It was the unfunniest brothers comedy duo of all time. I can't believe how they would have ever accepted for the TV. They were shite. In fact, they even had the shitest catchphrase. There was the namby-pamby one with the nice hairdo, Mike Winters. He was the straight man, yeah? And his brother was Bernie. It was the gormless one. And there was nothing remotely funny in this. They had bloody guests like Slasher the Stell, you know, that French Mr. Love himself, you know, singing all those. He sang one song on this show. Well, what a load of garbage. And yeah, you know, and then he punished himself by singing another one as well. But Mike and Bernie Winters, the unfunniest comedy duo ever to let the side down and in the 1970s of all time. They were bloody awful. The Mike and Bernie Winters show, they were absolutely bloody awful. In UK, somebody said, a nomad overseas says never aired them. You don't want to. You don't want to. You really, really don't want to. But they had the worst catch, the most embarrassing. I mean, this will make you cringe. The gormless one was Bernie, yeah, the bigger one, the gormless one. And he had he had a catchphrase. And he played on his gormlessness. His catchphrase, seriously, his catchphrase was, Yee! That was his catchphrase. And he was so crap that he even got his own. They had a split up, and he went solo, and he got his own crap. That was his catchphrase. If you actually watch the episode, even Sasha Distel joins him with the catchphrase. Eee! Oh, you bloody gormless pile of crap. So anyway, if you want to see the worst, the worst comedy duo in the whole history of comedy duos, don't Google Mike and Bernie Winters. You can actually see one of their shows and see how they were on the TV quite. How the hell did anyone find them funny? So anyway, I've got that off my chest. Anyway, Mike and Bernie Winters, total load of crap. Let's see now. Okay, here we go. We'll go through the chat again. Okay. A nomad overseas. Hello. Let me see. Let's go through it again. I've lost the chat. I mean, it's so bloody wound up. I mean, they had 45 minutes watching Mike and Bernie Winters. I don't know. I was too lethargic. I was too lazy to get up and switch the bloody thing. 45 minutes of my life that I will never ever get back again. Sean the Prawn, hello from Dublin. What is in your jar there, Eddie? Do you think the UK will rejoin the EU now? They have finally done okay in Eurovision. Yeah, oh yeah. But I didn't. I heard about it. You know, another vlogger was doing a live stream, but he wasn't able to play the music. Apparently, the UK entry was somebody who looked like Jesus Christ, except the good Lord wasn't on his side that because I ended up coming second, didn't he, or third? Think about the Eurovision Song Contest. Apparently, it draws in millions of people around the globe, millions and millions of people. What's the Eurovision Song Contest? And yet you never meet anyone who admits to watching it. Did you watch the Eurovision Song Contest last night? No, we don't watch that. Lying bastards. They did. They watched it. It's the same with Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher. She won three landslide elections. Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, United Kingdom, won 3 elections. And yet nowadays you never meet anyone who admits to voting for her. Oh, I didn't like that cow. Didn't like it. No one I knew voted. She won 3 bloody elections. Someone must have voted for her. It's the same with the Eurovision Song Contest. Millions of views, and yet I've never met anyone who admits to watching it. Let's see. Bulldog. Hey, Eddie. Going to the Philippines on Wednesday. Can't wait. 3 months after 3 years. So lots of bloody good. Bloody good. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Have a great. I wouldn't mind another visit to the Philippines. Fantastic wildlife. Have you been to Kuala Lumpur, Eddie? The nightlife and food is very good. They give Brits 3 months, no visa. Well, that's it. 3 months. Maybe it's good. Maybe I should visit a second time, but I must admit, I went to the Philippines once. No, we're talking about Malaysia, aren't we? Right? I went to Malaysia and the Philippines on one trip. And Kuala Lumpur and that place called Penang, I heard some rave reviews, and I didn't think the people there were as friendly as the other people that I'd already encountered in Southeast Asia. You know, like the Thais and the Vietnamese. I wasn't a great fan of it, but I don't know, maybe give it another visit. But then I went on to the Philippines, and that was a lot friendlier, but it was also highly dodgy in those days. So Well, it was still an interesting travel experience, but, you know. Anders Bergman, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you, Anders Bergman. You asked me what I was drinking. I'm drinking a Kronenberg today. 53 people in the chat. You know, that's the best that I've done on this channel up to now. That's all right. Hi to everybody. M8, hi. Have you retired now? Unless I get bored. Yeah, probably yes. Probably, yeah. I'm in a moment now. I've just had a lovely 4 months traveling back here, feeling very, very lethargic, which is, you know, lazy, another way of saying lazy. And I don't necessarily have to go to work again. If I get bored or you know, I feel a need for extra money, I will do a little bit. We'll see. McLaren F1 race. Oh, yeah, typically, I'm off to Sunday lunch and you're having a live stream. Okay, enjoy it, yeah? A nomad overseas can own. We've fallen behind with the chat because I was having a rant about bloody awful Mike and Bernie went, oh, what did we say? Here's something saying. Paul Hoskin has just mentioned Steptoe and Son, right? Steptoe and Son, classic. Wilfred Brandle, wonderful old actor. Harry H. Corbett. Okay, I'm going to grab another beer before a waffle on about this. Okay. Right now, do you ever, when you switch your internet on and you go to the browser, do you ever see MSN News? It's pretty crap, isn't it? Pretty crap. MSN News. Do you have a picture of Mike Tyson? Check out what these celebrities are worth now, and you think, well, I want to know what Mike Tyson's worth now. So I click on it, and then it tells me what loads of other people. I've got to plow through another 20 or 30 people to find out what. I don't want to find out what others. You know, you showed me a picture of Mike Tyson. I want to know what he's. MSN. You know, it's. I don't know. I mean, take it all with a pinch of salt. But a news story came out today. One of these things where you click on, and all I can say is that someone at MSN is well and truly got their head up their ass. I mean, what you got to be kidding, man. Didn't this person do any research? Didn't he do any research, right? It showed a picture of a guy, an actor, called Harry H. Corbett. Yes? He died quite reasonably young. Harry H. Corbett died reasonably young. It showed his picture. And the headline was something like, you know, he had various warnings about, you know, heart issues, whatever. So apparently he's a very, very talented actor. In Steptoe and Son, you had the father, and Harry H. Corbett's catchphrase in this was, "You dirty old man." And he was wonderful. He was a really underrated. He was said to be a, he was a good actor, very, very good actor. But Harry H. Corbett died. I think he was quite young. He might have even only been late 40 or something like that. But he died, right? Harry H. Corbett was the name of the son in that wonderful series, Steptoe and Son. Okay? Now, apparently, Harry put the H in the middle of his name so as not to be confused with somebody else. Yes? Harry Corbett was a guy, he didn't have his head up his ass. Instead, he had his hand up a puppet. He had his hand up a puppet called Sooty. Yes? Who's Sooty? Who's Sooty? That was Harry Corbett was the presenter of a children's puppet show. Yes? That was around for quite a while. And he had his hand up this puppet called Sooty. Yeah? And it was a big hit. You know, kids' programs. Okay. The reason I'm telling you this, I glanced at MSN today. And as I say, someone's got the bloody head up their ass. They don't do the research properly. It had a picture of Harry H. Corbett, the actor from Steptoe and Son. And then it had this guy was famous for this Sooty show and whatever. I thought, you bloody idiots. Harry H. Corbett was in Steptoe and Son. The picture, he shows a picture of Harry H. Corbett, a very, very good actor. and then tells me this is the guy. You're getting confused, man. Harry Corbett, the bald-headed sort of gear, well, he partially bald. He was the one who had Sooty. The actor in Steptoe and Son had nothing to do with Sooty. Somebody doesn't do the research properly, do they? What a dozy bastard. And this guy's probably paid a decent wage for doing that. Do your research, man. Harry H. Corbett and Harry Corbett, one of them had Sooty, and one of them was in Steptoe and Son, and you got the wrong one. Dozy bastards. Dozy bastards. I can't believe it. I'd say, well, if a bloody road sweeper made the slightest little mistake, someone would bloody let him know, will quickly let him know about it. This guy does an article for MSN. He gets the wrong photograph on. Oh, for Christ's sake. Anyway, I thought I'd have my little rant about that. Nice to hear from you, Paul Hoskin, yes. Duffler, I bet you didn't like Big Brother, Eddie, when that was on. That's not my generation. It's not my generation. It's really not my generation. I mean, that's for the generation of famous for being famous people. Didn't he have Celebrity Big Brother? I never even heard of half of these people. Wouldn't know them if I fell over them. Big Brother, all of these young people, like being suggested like they're gonna get it on with each other when the lights go dim. After a while, bloody decrepit. Absolutely not. It's bollocks. You watch it on it. I know some people are obsessed with it. Like you watch it. I'm sorry to say that if you're going to watch Big Brother, I mean, for Christ's sake, I mean, you can't have much of a life yourself. What a load of crap. I mean, sometimes it's watchable. I mean, like if Big Brother, if I accidentally switched it on. And, there was, a lovely, couple of tasty chicks with big knockers and all that. I think, well, I'm going to watch this a bit, see if anything good happens. But no, not for me. Not for me. Not my cup of tea at all. Naked Attraction. Well, should we talk about Naked? When I first seen Naked Attraction, I from other countries, let me just tell you, there's a program late night on Channel 4 called Naked Attraction, where all these naked people, it's a dating show for naked people, basically. And you see some lovely bodies, but after a while you think, so what? So what I can see better on the internet than that. I can actually see them, having rumpy-pumpy on the internet. Anyway, Thailand bound. Noodles on stage in a go-go bar. Yeah, terrible. Dreadful. I've done a video of that. I've done a review of my first night stepping out in Angeles City and going to the go-go bars. And I did a review of, what it was like going from one to the other. And the good thing about doing something like that is that you're telling a story, and yet you don't have to make it up, because everything I said in that video, every last detail was absolutely how it happened. And I was sort of hot, including I went in one go-go bar, and they weren't dancing like you'd expect. A lot of these girls are grossly overweight as well in the Philippines. On the stage, Jesus, some of them look like sumo wrestlers. I went into one go-go bar. I thought, can it get any better or worse? And there was one not a bad-looking girl, and they were all standing there, chatting to each other on the stage. And then one good-looking girl, the delivery man come along and handed her a bowl of noodles. And the go-go dancer started eating. Well, she wasn't a dancer; she just stood there, started eating the bowl of noodles on the stage in a go-go bar. Well, that place was well and truly noodles. Jesus Christ. M8, enjoy your rest before you travel again in about October, maybe. I've got a sneaky feeling that I'm going to be away before that. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this is a nice crony, 1664. Since I've been back this week, I've heard people saying things have gone up in price. You get 4. These are full pints, these are. 4 full pints of crony. Kronenberg, which is about as good as lager gets. 4 full pints of Kronenberg for £5.75 from the co-op. And I would say that that's bloody good value. That's good value. Okay, let's see now. What have we got now? And Nomad Overseas, they do that. They do that as they have ads on each page. They get revenue each page. Yeah, load of crap. I don't believe in deceiving people at all. I really don't. MSM pisses me off. They really, really do. You've got a picture of Tom Selleck. Have a look at what house Tom Selleck lives in today. Okay, so we'll click on the picture. And then there's no Tom Selleck. There's about 20 other celebrities before they eventually get to it's I'd say it's a bit of a con, really. So it's a bit of a con. Bernard Purcell, yes, it's all bollocks. Yeah, absolutely. I reckon, yeah, it's all bollocks. You're talking about MSN, load of bollocks. And I'm sorry to say, another popular one with MSN. It always seems to be there when I open the browser. This actor is front of the queue to be the next James Bond. I like James Bond, yeah. I like the series. I watch the James Bond movies. But for Christ's sake, I'm getting a bit pissed off, bored, shitless with MSN telling me who is in the running to be the next James Bond. Come on, I don't want to know anymore. You killed it. Jesus Christ. Fantastic Wildlife. Steptoe and Son is an all-time classic up there with Rise and Damp. See what I mean? I said there's some brilliant comedy around. Leonard Rossiter in Rise and Damp. What an amazing character. You couldn't imagine anyone else playing Rigsby. Oh, Miss Jones. Absolutely wonderful. And Richard Beckinsale was in that one as well. Sadly died very early. Leonard Rossiter, wonderful. He was also in The Fall and Rise of Reginald Penner. They had some absolutely amazing comedy around in them days. Absolutely amazing. Jolly Fox, good evening, Eddie. Little late here. Where are you from anyway? Where are you at the moment? Ty Billy Boy. Good afternoon, Ed. Hello, everyone. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. How are you all? All right, how are you? Nice to hear from you. Pelly, awesome live stream, Eddie. Thanks, Eddie. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Good for you, mate. Eddie. Good for you. Wanderer 299. Wilfred Bramble was in A Hard Day's Night as Paul's granddad. The other Beatles said he was very clean. Okay, the other Beatles. I do remember that scene in A Hard Day's Night with the Beatles, and I think they met him on did they meet him on a train? And he was a wonderful actor, that Wilfred Bramble. And I think what made me think of that, because the Beatles were not actors; they were a pop group. They were not actors, and I seem to recall the scenes that he had with them. He showed what acting is all about. He was a wonderfully talented actor, Wilfred Bramble. Wonderful. Let's see. Schmoots can confirm Ed's account of Angeles City Go-Go's. Not the most energetic performance. Many sitting on stage with phone. I know, absolutely. Bloody awful. Absolutely bloody awful. Martin Ryder, nice to hear from you. Martin, nice to hear from you, man. Is Little Eddie speed dial 12? No, I haven't. Never even heard of it, to be honest with you. But if you say so, I will look it up. What's that? Smooth, edgy, Mr. Drop. A few more taps you do it. Okay, let's see. You're right. Hey, you're right there, yeah. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Thanks for that anyway. Times are hard. You know what I mean? Got to get out your last drop. Oh, lovely stuff. Spitz Energy, nice to hear from you, Spitz Energy. How's things in Chiang Mai? Nice to hear from you, mate. Monkey Harris, this live stream was brought to you in partnership with Cronenberg and The Coop. Okay, fine. The Coop. No name. Explain to an American what a co-op is as opposed to a supermarket. Or well, it's a small supermarket. It was started off many years ago, and probably in might have been a couple of centuries ago or 150 years ago, whatever. I think it was started as a working class supermarket. It was a cooperative, ownership. And the co-op is, I don't know who owns it now, but the co-op, it's a good supermarket. It's good, but they're not all good. I've got one within walking distance, a couple of them within walking distance. There's one of them I visited the other day, and it was bloody awful. I mean, I'll avoid that one in future. I bought a bag of bananas, and I think you're better buying green bananas, but there weren't any. They were yellow. They looked okay. The next day, I opened one after the other. They were all bad, load of crap. So, it's not always. It's not always good, but that's what the co-op is anyway. It's basically a small supermarket. Stephen Forex, those are the worst calico bait type stories. Clickbait, absolutely. El Terrifico, all mainstream news is fake. Okay, we'll go along with that. I'll go along with that. Up to me, I think you'll have to dip in that can of beer. No, that's been rectified. Daniel Mills, I stopped watching Woke Bond about 5 years ago. The James Bond movies, the production of them, are still usually entertaining. But when you think it's not as bad as it seems, because the James Bond movies were unbelievably sexist. I mean, if you look at some of the scenes from the past, I mean, you wouldn't want to be James Bond's, love interest, would you? Because they all tend to die very quickly. They do tend to die very quickly, the lovely ladies in the James Bond movies. And there's some bloody diabolical scenes in it. There's one in The Spy Who Loved Me, isn't it? When James Bond enters, heads out to the desert, Egypt, and he goes into a tent where an old comrade of his is there, and they have a chat, and the next minute, the next minute, his old comrade brings in a load of, harem girls and says, what would you like, for your entertainment or whatever. And it's not politically correct in this day and age. And also, I mean, I think it's a bit sinister, really, like as if they have a choice. It's not very good. I mean, some of the scenes in the old Bond movies make you think, no, that shouldn't have been allowed anyway. Women are lovely. I love women, but have a bit more respect for women. I mean, we can all do a little bit of sexism here and there, but when it's like a harem of women who are obviously not there of their own decision, and that's not quite right. So James Bond probably needed a kick in the pants, really, to be honest with you. Let's see. A Nomad Overseas, Open All Hours is a great show, wonderful. Ronnie Barker, same with Dad's Army. They're still showing them on repeat, even though absolutely amazing, absolutely. It's a wonderful comedy around in those days. I mean, I did a couple of turkeys like bloody Mike and Bernie Winter slip through the net. I don't believe it. Roy Jones, who's going to be the next Doctor Who? I like Doctor Who in the days when Doctor Who looked like Doctor Who. Wilfred Brandle, his white hair, and he looked like a Doctor Who. Who have they got now? They've got all kinds of bloody namby-pamby people, haven't they, with scarves and funny hats and funny accents and all this kind of stuff. Martin Ryder, looking forward to your Scoot Air review. It's not a full review, Martin, but I have done a bit of review, and it will be coming in the next couple of days. Promise you that. I promise you that. Thanks for asking anyway, mate. And Nomad Overseas, don't think there's any co-ops left here in Ireland these days. Maybe in more rural parts. I haven't seen one in Dublin since I was a kid. I mean, the co-op is... some say it's not the best value, but I think I'm quite happy with the co-op. I'm quite happy. I'll tell you something. The guy who works in the local co-op to me was very good, because I went in there yesterday and I bought over 50, about 55 quid's worth of grub. And he said, have you got a co-op card? I was, well, I've never bothered having one of them. He said, you could have got about a tenner off there. He said, I'll tell you what, you can use my card. And he had his mobile phone, he tapped it and got me about a tenner off. Bloody good stuff, good stuff, so not bad. He's a real good lad. So I'll get a co-op card in future. Stephen Forrest, how are you coping being Omed? No post-travel blues? Never glad to be in England for me. I had 4 months. It wasn't as if I had a couple. I mean, I had 4 months. So I think that takes a long time to recover from, to be honest with you. Martin Ryder, pussy galore, plenty O'Toole. I can't remember that. Plenty O'Toole, bloody good. Zania on the top. Holly Godhead, fantastic, man. They have some names out of the James Bond movies. Absolutely wonderful. Ian UK, Ed, I'm sorry to correct you, but Henry Fonda was first choice, not Coburn, for the Leone films, but couldn't afford them at the time. Clinton was upcoming at the time and cheaper to hire. Okay. I've heard Henry Fonda. I've also heard Charles Bronson and other actors, but I've actually seen an interview with Sergio Leone where he said that he wanted Coburn. So we might have to differ on that one, but thanks for your info anyway. Citizen Mikey, Eddie, have you seen that Brazilian movie, City of God? Absolutely. I've seen it quite a few times. It's wonderful. It's like it borrows this. About halfway through, you realize that it's borrowed the story, a little bit of the story of Goodfellas. There's an element of that in it. But in case you haven't seen that movie, guys, it's about 2.5 hours long, or 2 hours plus anyway. And it is out. It is about the Brazilian street kids in the favelas of Rio de Janeiro. I think it's set in the 1960s, and it is a wonderful film. If you watch that movie called City of God, you may watch it. I think it's in Portuguese with subtitles. You may watch it and think this is going to be a little teensy-weensy bit depressing. Watch the first, after about 20 minutes, that film gradually pulls you in. It really pulls you in, and once it gets a grip of you, it doesn't let it go. It doesn't let you go. City of God, magnificent. Go if you've never seen it, go check it out. David Coleman, nice to hear from you, mate. Hi, Eddie. David from Toronto. How have you put it? Toronto. Okay, absolutely. Nice to hear from you, David. Nice to hear from you. Up to me. Our Feeders and Pet was a great TV show. Still watch it on YouTube. That was a 1980s show, wasn't it? When you had, it was kind of fashionable for, builders to maybe go out to Germany because, it was a recession in England, whereas we had that Germany was, a place where there's tons of work going on out there. Our Feeders and Pet, excellent stuff, excellent. Some really, really good lines. Let me see. David Coleman. Hi, Eddie. David from Toronto. What did I miss? It's 12 p.m. here. Oh, you missed a streaker. A bunch of hot, sexy ladies just ran naked past. So you'll have to watch this on replay and catch up with that one. I'm kidding. Gavin Kidd, what's the plan in the future? I haven't got one, but I am looking at traveling to some European destinations this summer. I do like European. We'll see how it goes anyway. Super Stephen, big bad bestie, have fun time in Patata. He's having a good time out there. He's going to go bars, and I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he's having good times in LK Metro and other go bar areas. Bloody good for them, mate. And nice to hear him enjoying himself. Let's see. Paul Hoskin. Did you go to the places in Thailand where they did some James Bond films? Not on this trip. Not on the. Oh well, no. Wait a minute. There is a James Bond movie which features Bangkok. The Man with the Golden Gun. They do feature Bangkok, don't they, in that movie? But the actual James Bond island around the Krabi province. I went to that about 20 years ago, but I didn't go there on this trip. But yeah, what else have they featured in the James Bond movie? Well, they featured Bangkok and that island in Krabi. David Coleman, Trainspotting, crazy movie. I love it. I like Trainspotting, not as much as some other people liked it, but it's a good movie. But the idea of making a movie about drug addicts, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a great understanding of those people, to be honest with you. I know that statement won't be popular with some people. Wow, Up to Me. Great time movie about the Bangkok Hilton. Prayer Before Dawn, all about Liverpool-born Billy Moore. Right, I don't know that movie. I haven't seen that movie that you're describing. But I am actually currently watching on YouTube. I've got another hour to go. You can actually get Bangkok Hilton, the 1989, it was that far back, I believe, TV drama with Nicole Kidman and Denholm Elliott in it. It goes on for 4 hours and 15 minutes, and you can get it on YouTube. And I've been watching it this week, and I've never actually seen it before, but fascinating stuff. I'm just about to I'll probably watch it later tonight, the final hour of it, but it's really quite gripping. Really, really quite gripping stuff. Whether it's relevant in this, of course it's relevant, but there's stupid people who will smuggle drugs into these countries, and aren't there? But it's fascinating stuff anyway. And Nomad Overseas, a lot of Alan Bleasdale stuff was excellent. A bit more serious in tone, but always with some good humour. Alan Bleasdale done the Boys in the Black stuff, and it was quite wonderful. And the lines were wonderful. I mean, what's that scene with Yosser Hughes? He's getting desperate because he's got no money. He's thrown out of his house, and he goes to a confessional, and he says that, and he's crying, and he says to the father, "Father, I'm desperate. I'm desperate." And the father says, "Please, please, please, call me Dan. Call me Dan." He says, "I'm desperate, Dan." Oh my God! You'd have to love. David Coleman, Eddie, you should have a clock behind so we all know what time it is there. Okay, everyone's got. Does anyone still wear a watch? Some people love, having a nice fancy watch, and all of that. I don't see the point. I mean, everyone knows. You got time on your internet, and you got time on your internet, and I can see the time there anyway. And it's I don't see the point in wearing a watch anymore. Philip Mulville, did you pen any new poems on this trip? No, I didn't. But there is one that I still haven't premiered, and I might do it. I might do it on the other channel late at night one of these days. It's about a private detective. So as soon as you asked, you never know. You never know. We'll see about that. Jay Frey, good morning, Steady. In Koh Samui. Well, have a nice time, mate. Have a nice time. Let's see. Stephen Forex, highly recommended. Another Robert Carlyle movie, Ravenous. He was an actor in Trainspotting. Brilliant and very, very unexpected. Absolutely. I never heard of that one. Ultimately, Ed Amazon has a Pray Before Dawn movie. Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thanks for that info. Nomad Overseas, he did another one called No Surrender. It's brilliant. I think it's on YouTube. Who did that? A little bit lost with that one. Paul Hoskin, give us a job. Yozza Hughes. I do believe in fairs. Anybody watch Broke Down Palace with the young Claire Danes? 2000 it is. Never actually heard that. Let me see. Yeah, absolutely. Nomad Overseas. Paul, do you remember Shake Hands? I cried laughing, and he tried to quiz Yoz's. Shake Hands McCarthy. Apparently, Alan Bleasdale had to explain later that was a fictitious character. But it just so happened that there was another guy in Liverpool at the time who was known as Shake Hands McCarthy, and obviously he thought it was him. Pele. Eddie, I watched for the first time a couple of years ago the British TV series Prisoner for the 1960s. I just loved that show. For sure, different class. Patrick McGowan, yeah, it was a strange show. I think when that was first premiered in the late 1960s, I think it was a bit of a flop because people didn't understand it. But they showed it again in the middle to late 70s, and it became a real cult. Yeah, I said a cult. Yeah. And it was on, don't forget, in those days, we only had 3 channels in England, and they all closed at around about midnight or maybe slightly beyond that. And they started showing The Prisoner late at night when there wasn't much TV shows going on at that time. And it become really, really, you heard stories of, people who would normally be in bed, who'd stay up late to watch The Prisoner. Good, excellent, very, very watchable anyway. And Nomad Overseas, Ravenous is a brilliant film. It's definitely worth a watch. Okay, that's fantastic. Thanks for that stuff. Yogi Bear, good afternoon to Yogi Bear. I have a few. Good afternoon to you, David Coleman. I have a few nice watches. I just got a pre-owned Rolex. It cost me more than 6 months in Thailand. It cost me more than 6 months. It's a pre-owned Rolex. If you like that sort of thing, if you it depends if you like. I've never worn an item of jewelry in my life, or whether you need a watch or whatever. I've never. It's but I suppose if you like that sort of thing. Ty Billy Boy, Alan Bleasdale did No Surrender. It's brilliant. Now I'm not familiar with that one, but I know that he'd done a much trumpeted, a much heralded series at the beginning of the 1990s. It had a big cast and some great actors like Robert Lindsay in it. And it was called GBH. And it was a Channel 4 drama. It had massive publicity. And it was expected to win awards and all kinds of things. And to be honest with you, it was a load of crap. I thought it was a load of crap. I mean, Michael Palin was in it as well. And it was just a total misfire. I watched the first episode. It was about political, sort of stuff. And then it just got less and less appealing as it went on. So Alan Bleasdale was great, but not everything he did was good. Okay, let me see now. Up to me, bloody exchange rate going down 42.6 to the pound. Is this because we're going back to Thailand? You can't win, can you? The good Lord gives with one hand and the devil takes with the other. Heather Morton, Midnight Express, better, a good one. I've watched that. Did we talk about prison dramas the other night? I might have been on Peter's stream. We talked about prison dramas, and some prison dramas. It's not really my bag. I don't really like watching prison dramas unless they're very appealing. And under normal circumstances, I will not watch a prison drama more than once, even if it's a good movie. I won't watch it more than once. But Midnight Express, I mean, one absolutely amazing movie, and also the music by, was it Giorgio Moroder or Vangelis? It was one of them. Wonderful film. Absolutely terrific. Life of Razor. Hey, Eddie. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Up to me. Got Rolex in Patpong Market. 1,200 baht 6 years ago. Still working. Can you tell that can people tell that it's fake or real or whatever? I do believe in fairies. Broketown Palace was set in Thailand, said to be inspired by 2 British girls caught smuggling drugs in the 1990s. Do you know something? I mean, do you know something? I mean, there's people who I've known here who are bloody hardcore addicts. You know what I mean? And these people say, I've been to Thailand and I just come back, and I can't believe that they go out there and they're not doing what they usually do. People, for all the bloody warnings in the world, there are still idiots out there who do that sort of stuff. Definitely not for me. This is what I like. I like this sort of stuff. Yogi Bear, The Prisoner was filmed in Port Marion in North Wales. Great place to visit. It looked lovely as well. Oh, by that, while we're on that subject, let's go back to that subject about, people smuggling the naughty stuff. A few years ago, there was a couple of girls who went to Peru. I think they were, somebody put them up to it. They went from, was it Ibiza to Peru, and I think they stayed in Cusco, and they were there for 4 days. And as they tried to leave, they got caught with all the all the illegal narcotics sort of stuff. I mean, what a giveaway! Who the bloody hell goes from Spain to Peru for 4 days? They said they were going there for. If you go to Peru, you go there for a month. You go there for months. You by the time you get there, spend 4 days and then come out. No chance. No wonder they got bloody caught. Don't have a great deal of sympathy for them either. Paul Hoskin, how much did James Bond offer the boy on the boat in Thailand if he could get the boat working? It was an ornament, wasn't it? He was trying to sell. He said, I'll give you 20,000 baht if you get the boat working. And then James Bond pushed the kid into the water, and the kid shook its fist and said, bloody tourists. Oh, my God almighty. Up to me, no one can sell their great Rolex copies. Really? Really? Well, it's nice to know. Nice to know. David Coleman, I hate shows about prison. Terrible stuff. Yeah, I mean, Midnight Express or what's that, but ordinary, some people like TV shows about prison. I don't. I mean, not. It's not really my bag. It's not really my bag. Dave Litch, YT, Prayer Before Dawn filmed almost entirely behind bars, with actual prisoners in the cast. Not the best movie for Thai fanciers. Inspiring but harrowing to watch, especially the male rape scene. Well, I'll be buggered if I'll watch anything like that. Okay, let me see now. 6,000 baht Rolex, fake or real? 6,000 baht sounds reasonably enough. Stephen Forex, can't discuss prison dramas and not mention the most classic cell block H. Got me through lonely teenage. That was that Australian, with the wobbly set. It was an Australian drama on later. Prisoner Cell Block H. And the best thing about that was the theme tune. He used to bring me roses. I wish he would again. But that was on the outside. And things were different then. That was the theme tune, wasn't it? It was on later, and it became a real cult. There's that word. I said cult. It became a real cult. And it was one of those things like, if there was a snooker fan, they took the show up. But some people were really obsessed with it, absolutely bloody obsessed with Prisoner Cell Block H. I must admit, even now and again, whenever I come across a woman who's some bitter and battered, old, embattled old battle axe, who displeases me. I always think she belongs in bloody Prisoner Cell Block H. She does. Oh my God. Martin Ryder, The Deer Hunter, was filmed on the river. Yeah, it was filmed in Thailand. A lot of those great Vietnam War movies in the late 70s and early were not filmed in Vietnam, because they were still out of bounds. Apocalypse Now was filmed in the Philippines. The Deer Hunter, wonderful film, not entirely convincing, but a wonderful film, and that was filmed in Thailand. Stephen Forex, school nights in the 1980s, shaky walls and all. Bloody funny. I think, can we mention what one of the forgotten duos of the 1980s, Hale and Pace? I've already mentioned the worst bloody comedy double act of all time, Mike and Bernie. Hale and Pace were absolutely wonderful, very, very vulgar, but they kind of disappeared, didn't they? They were good. And they did a sketch, didn't they, about the set designer of Prisoner Cell Block H and, all these wobbly sets. It was really fun. Hale and Pace, I'll tell you what, if you've never heard of Hale and Pace, you can get a lot of their stuff on YouTube. You get the sketch about, Yorkshire Airways and Hale and Pace, wonderful, from the 1980s. Very, very forgotten about now. Very, very forgotten about. But Hale and Pace, wonderful. If Mike and Bernie were the worst double act ever, Hale and Pace were definitely up there with the best. If you've never heard of them or you've forgotten all about them, just type in Hale and Pace TV show on YouTube. Go and check them out. Absolutely bloody wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Let's see. Yogi Bear, cell block H. If they slam the door, the walls shook. Sounds about right. Paul Hoskin. David Bowie did a film in Thailand and he was in a go-go bar. Was that Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence? Was that one? Somebody is going to be released from HMP Verne, Portland. But he should lock him up in the key throne. I heard he was getting 16 years, wasn't he? I heard he was getting 16 years. The thing about him, that bloody, shiny suit rock star, he tarnished the name of countries like Cambodia and places like that. When if the truth is known, his worst crimes were bloody committed here in England. He was in England. He was eventually given, and I understood 16 years for crimes that he committed in England, not anywhere else. Oh, and to think that when I was 12 years old, I seen him in concert. And oh, Jesus Christ almighty. Citizen Mikey, Eddie, how long do you spend Bangkok when you go to Thailand? My last visit to Thailand, I was 10 days in Bangkok. And it was great. I mean, Bangkok, when I first visited there 20 odd years ago, I didn't like it. I just wanted to get out of it and go to Pattaya. But gradually it grows and grows and grows on you over the years. And when you find out, how to get around there and where to go, bloody good place, bloody good place, bloody good place. Lieutenant Columbo's Glass Eye. Hale and Pace became serious actors. Their sketch, the management was the best. Where they played like the sort of like Cray twins with the bloody good stuff. Excellent, wonderful. So you have seen it. Stephen Forex, Yorkshire Air, flying direct from Yorkshire to Yorkshire. Because why would you want to bloody go anywhere else? That is a wonderful sketch. That is a wonderful. Go and check that out, please. Hale and Pace Yorkshire sketch. And what is it that the pilot says at the end of it? He says, because the way we see it, if it ain't bloody Yorkshire, then it ain't bloody worth going to. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful. Let's have a look at that one. Up to Me, The Serpent, about the murders of the backpackers in Thailand. I've heard that that's a great series, that. Really, really have heard that's a great series. I watched the first episode and I couldn't really get into it, but maybe I should give that another chance. I have heard that that's good, that. Yogi Bear is best mates with Jimmy and Rolf. I think you're talking about that guy with the platform boots on, aren't you? Martin Ryder. GG was in Phnom Penh when I was there. He stayed in a flat above the Greyhound Irish bar. He used to go along the waterfront in a rickshaw with a wooden spoon, pretending to be singing. Jesus Christ. Pop pervert. Jesus Christ. No, Jesus Christ wasn't a pop pervert. That other pervert was. Absolutely. Okay, we've caught up with the chat now. It's squeaky door time. We'll go on for a little bit longer. There's still 60 people in the chat. Okay, now let me just mention something. And apologies to anyone. When I switched some music on the other day, someone was listening to it in the headphones, and all of a sudden the music went, Jesus Christ! Apparently, burst his eardrums. So I just better tell you, I'm going to put some music on now, just a quick one, a little video. It's my John Peel moment at the moment. A bit of punk rock here. So if you are wearing headphones, things might get a teensy weensy bit noisy. Okay, so there you go. Okay, let's put this one on anyway. Let's put this one. Here we go. Okay. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. So let me see now. Let's get back to the chat. And I did warn people this time in case you're, listening through the. I'll do a banner. I'll do a banner. Watch your things are going to get noisy. Let's see. Sean Bill, do you ever travel with friends or always alone? I have traveled with friends in the past. I have traveled with friends in the past. It's probably better alone when I'm doing. Come on, let's think about it. There's not many people who can just drop everything and do 4 months travel. You tend to find that a lot of vloggers do actually travel alone, and also. When I'm making videos, it's not ideal to be traveling with friends because, people will want to do things every single day. Where I'm usually in bed until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon editing a video. So it's much easier to travel alone, to be honest with you. Dave Litch, in a 1984 documentary, Ricochet, David Bowie journeys to the Far East and indulges himself in Bangkok's notorious red light district. I haven't seen that one. Good for him, anyway. I must admit, the type of movies I like. I do like biopics. I like the Bohemian Rhapsody biopic. I liked the Elton John biopic, Rocket Man. There's a TV series, a TV biopic called about Meatloaf, which I thought was very, very good. And I really, really, really would love to see a full-length movie biopic of David Bowie, because he was so amazing and such an artist. And, I think that would be really interesting. David Coleman, I was in Guatemala when they were filming Apocalypto. I believe I never made it to Guatemala. I believe that's quite a spectacular country. Up to me, done the full moon party in 1998, good experience. Well, it wasn't such a good experience for me because I wanted to do a live stream there, but it just never happened. David Coleman, there was a serial killer years ago in Patpong, Bangkok. You get them everywhere. Shin Rana, hey Eddie, what are you doing with your euros? Is that euro? I don't. Well, I'm in the UK. I don't use euros. What euro? No, that's euros. You mean? I don't know. But nice to hear from you anyway, Shin. Nice to hear from you. Yogi Bear, David Coleman. I was an extra in the movie Champions at Ainty Race Course. I ran an Ainty as well. I was Mr. Ed. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. What have we got to say? I'll tell you what. We've 64 people in the chat. This is my second channel, Steady Ed. Now, I do need to. I do need to get my, a little bit of advertising. It would be lovely to get a little bit of advertising on. The adverts that I have on my other channel, they go towards my travel. It'd be nice to get a little bit of advertising on here. You've got to have 1,000 subscribers, which is I've gone over that, and 4,000 hours of watch time, and I'm very, very close to that now. So it'd be nice to get advertising on the second channel. It would be nice. I don't deny that. So this is all to build up the watch time. So let me see now. What I'll do with this, I'll be doing, I'll kind of find my way with I'll try and find my way with this, yeah. But I'll be doing regular live streams like this. But I've learned a little bit how to use the StreamYards and all the other stuff now. So I'll be bringing on a few little extra stuff, like a little bit of extra stuff. I'll be live streaming for a longer period of time, simply because I'm almost retired. I'm just about retired now. I've no plans to go back to work in the immediate future. So I've got a bit more time on me, and so I will be doing extra live streams. I would absolutely love to do some outdoor live streams. There's some really, really great places not far from where I live. Really great places. The problem is I live in the southwest of England, and I just don't trust. The signals, the phone signal. The southwest of England is notorious for getting a crap signal. So I was to make the effort and go somewhere and do an outdoor live stream. It just might not work, but we'll see what happens anyway. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Bernard Purcell, Ed, this is okay. hopefully it's talking about the music, or does he talk about the live stream? Whatever. Martin Reiser, Platoon, We Were Soldiers, Apocalypse Now, and a few more were filmed in Pakistan, the Philippines. Platoon, actually, to be honest, I think Platoon was probably the best of the Vietnam War movies. Sheen Rana, sorry, mate. 187 million lottery win, I meant to say. No, it wasn't me that won it. It wasn't me that won it. We had this conversation the other night, didn't we? You know, if you did win that kind of money on the lottery, what would you do? What would you do? We'll go through it again. We'll go through it again. I mean, what would you do with if you won that kind of money on the lottery? I believe in the law of averages, mate. I believe if you have extremely good luck at one moment, then you've got to follow it up having extremely bad luck the following moments. So if I win 187 million today, that probably means that I'll drop dead tomorrow. It happens. It happens. You know what I mean? But I mean, at a certain age, I mean, I'm 60 years old now. Would that win a lot? I don't think a lot. But what would they do? I'd probably go travel. Well, I go traveling anyway. So what would they? All right, I'll travel in better luxury next time. Yeah, I'd probably do that. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say no to it, but I wouldn't say so. But it'd be strange. I would just assume the bloody worst. I just assume the worst if I won that kind of money. I'd assume the worst and something really bad's going to happen. Poppycorn. Hi, Ed. Just seen your live. It's half-time to football. Enjoyed your chat with Peter the other night. Okay, that's good. It went on for 4 hours. I mean, Peter's a good guy, so the conversation was endless and it just went on and on. But thanks for that anyway, Poppycorn. I won't ask you what football team you support. All I'll say is that I'm not a big football fan, but a team that I like won the FA Cup yesterday. Nice to hear from you anyway. Paul Hoskin. Buy a camper van and drive around England. We see the cost of diesel these days, Paul. A camper van and drive around England. It might be all right. I mean, the thing is, I'm not too sure it'll go well on this on my other channel because that's like mainly Southeast Asia, isn't it? Sounds like a good idea. Martin Ryder, top 5 mongering countries. That'll make me popular with YouTube. And do you know what? I put out a video today on the other channel. It's a little video about Walking Street. And when it comes to the advertising, you've got the green symbol, which means full adverts. And you've also got the yellow symbol, which means limited or no ads. And that was the first video that I put out for a while where all of a sudden YouTube done the checks. Hang on a minute. I think it's got the green symbol now. But as soon as you show any images of go-go or anything that remotely looks like a nightlife scene with go-go bars, they're onto you. They don't like it. Top 5 mongering countries. Southeast Asia isn't bad. Brazil's pretty good as well. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe maybe that's an idea for a video. We'll see about that. Thanks for that suggestion anyway. Gordy, Eddie, love your channel. Keep the live streams going. Have you ever met Jeff Carter on your travels? No, I've never met Jeff Carter. I'd like to meet him. I mean, Jeff Carter was the first vlogger that I ever watched on YouTube. And the way he did it, I didn't see anybody else at the time. He pioneered a lot of it. So yeah, Jeff Carter's great. I've watched a lot of his videos. Ty Billy Boy, I would donate to good causes and to good friends. It's a crazy amount. Well, donating to good causes, don't forget. I mean, I'm going to do a video where I'll say my piece about charities anyway pretty soon. As for donating a lot of that money to good friends, well, all as I know is that if you won 187 million on the lottery, you would suddenly have a lot more good friends than you had previously. That's all I know. Poppycorn, if you got good health, you are wealthy enough. Yeah, that sounds about that sounds about right. I mean, you know, I'd probably like to. I'd probably spend that money on me. I'd probably travel in more luxury, but I'd travel anyway. And if you travel in more luxury, I don't know, probably take all the fun out of it. Thai belly boy popcorn. I agree. Well said. A nomad overseas. I used to work with a fella that won a few million on lottery. He went public and the hangers-on arrived in their droves. Yeah, of course he would. Of course he would. There's that scene from Spend, 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 isn't there? About that Viv Nicholson and her husband who won the lottery in the 60s. Famous drama. And it was obviously based on a true story. And they're lying in bed one night and she's got a big stack of letters. Oh, I need money for my poor child. I need money for this, that, and the other. And she's reading the letters in bed. And Keith Turner goes to sleep, her husband. And she's reading the letters. Oh, Keith, you know, these people there, they're desperate for money, these people. You know, I've got another letter there, a big sack of letters, Keith, and all that. And Keith says, I've told you, we're burning the bastards tomorrow. I think I'd go along with him, to be honest with you, in that regard. I won the lottery. If I ended up getting a sack of bloody mail through it, I'd burn a lot of it. Shinrana. Hey, I have heard Croatia and Estonia are really worth visiting. Someone made the suggestion the other night of what they call the Baltic Tigers: Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. That sounds bloody good. That sounds interesting. So I'm looking at somewhere like that. I think that we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens anyway. Popcorn. Thanks, Ty Belly Boy. The older I get, I appreciate simple things rather than material wealth. Yeah, me too, mate. As long as I can travel whenever I want. I mean, I'm not rich, but I can travel whenever I want. And that's not a bad luxury to have, is it? Okay, so some of the hotels I stay in, you know, not to everyone's taste, but I don't know. I do all right. The Walking Dude, afternoon, Eddie. Okay, good afternoon to you, mate. Shin Rana, this is a great time for a live stream, mate. Okay, thank you. We've had the 69 in the chat now. I've got up to 71, which I think is the most that I've had on this channel. I think the others were in the middle of the night stream. So, but this is better somehow. David Coleman, this is a great time for me in Toronto, and you're about it's around about midday, isn't it? Around about that time. A nomad overseas, Ty Billy Boy actually set up a crypto wallet with compounding interest tokens in it. Plan to donate regular to local Thai charities once I move over. Okay, good for you. Yogi Bear, Ed, winning 187 million will get you about 10% in interest alone. So you need to work out what you're going to do with the 187 million first. Just a major headache. Oh, I wouldn't mind having that headache, to be honest with you, but I don't know. It's not as good as it sounds. I mean, a lot of those people who win that kind of money, you look at the reports, a lot of them live very, very sad lives afterwards. Paul Hoskin, if I won that much money, how could you spend it all? Well, I know how you'd spend it, you dirty. Oh my God, you'd be straight down to the massage parlors, wouldn't you, Paul? Soapy massages. I would as well. Martin Ryder, do a bit of window cleaning on the side. That's all right. Maybe I could be like Robin Asquith, Confessions of a Window Cleaner. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what was his line? They're big for their age. They're big for my age. One thing, those confession movies, okay, they're corny as hell. But one thing about those confession movies, they had a lot of full frontal nudity, and they were all nice and hairy. The women were lovely and hairy, and then, you know, if like me, you're a fan of full frontal and hairy, have a look at those confessions movies. Some lovely full frontal and hairy scenes. Oh my God, love it. Paul Hoskin, I would die with a grin on my face. Absolutely. I don't blame you, mate. Don't blame you. Okay. So let me see now. What else have we got now? Anything else? Let me have a little teensy weensy. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do. See, put a little bit of music. Oh, no, I'm not going to put any more music. I'm going to nip. I'm just going to put a couple of pies in the oven. Back in one moment. Oh, my lordy lord. Look what I've found. I didn't realize I had this left. There you go. I haven't had one of these for a while. I didn't even know I had it left in the fridge. Oh, my God almighty. There we go. Speckled in. Bloody good stuff. This was something to do with MG motor cars. It was a real ale that was developed in celebration of MG motor cars. Oh my God. Oh, magnifico. Lovely stuff. That's beautiful. Okay, where are we now? Martin rides a good way of Steve Warren, 4 massive. Oh, that's a bit much for me. Two at a time is about my limit. Enough said. Yogi Bear, Paul Loskin, how would they get the coffin lid on? Oh, we're getting smutty now. Martin rides another can of beer, R.I.P. Yeah, I'll bloody drink myself into a grave. Here comes the taps, 3, 2, 1. Citizen Mikey, you can't beat a Scotch pie. What's a Scotch? What is a Scotch? No, another Scotch egg. Paul Hoskin, 4 masses in a day. I have 6 when I'm in Thailand. Jesus Christ, mate! Are you sure you don't need to see somebody? You know, maybe see somebody. I mean, 6 a day. That sounds like an addiction to me. It's a nice addiction to have, but you know. Oh, one more. I'm just going to throw something else. Something else. What am I bloody like? Okay, I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. Been on for an hour and 36 minutes. Like I say, I've got to do some regular live streams, even though this isn't a very well planned one. I need, to build up the watch time. And there's no pressure on this. I mean, somehow, when I advertise a live stream, I felt, pressure. I mean, the good thing about doing these is I'm doing them whenever I, feel like it. So you've got to be in a good mood, really. Jamie 296. Hi, Eddie. If you had to choose between living in Bangkok or Pattaya, which one would you choose? The good thing about those 2 places is that they're only really about 1.5 hours, or maybe a couple of hours away from each other. I mean, you've got the airport in Bangkok, that's Savannah Bhumi. That's 1.5 hours by road, but central Bangkok, you're probably looking at 2 hours away. But Bangkok's probably got more going on. Pattaya, I spent a couple of months in Pattaya when I was out there recently, and every day it gets smaller and smaller every day when you walk around there, believe it or not. And whereas Bangkok, it's such a large city, you could probably never discover all of the city. There's always new places to discover. I like either of those. I'd probably choose Bangkok, I would have thought. Martin Ryder, I don't think I could manage 2 happy endings these days. Yeah, oh, absolutely. I know the feeling, mate. Paul Hoskin, every 2 hours starting at 2 p.m. Oh my God, man. Oh my, and you planned it as well. You've actually planned it. Oh my God, that's definitely an addiction, mate. David Coleman, if I won $10 million, I'd have a Japanese and Russian girls sandwich. That sounds what, only one? Only one sandwich? I think I'd have a lot more than that. Papico, do you know any Thai words? Is there a language you wish you could speak, like Spanish? I've never really learned any Thai, as you probably know. Sawadee ka, and all that kind of stuff. I never really learned much. I tried to learn Spanish once, but when I tried to use it in South America, quiero un cerveza, por favor. I could learn that. If I lived in that country, I could learn it if I practiced it enough. But don't forget, I've got a funny accent, and some English people can't understand me. And when I try to speak a little bit of Spanish, I tend to find that the people in South America, they sort of looked at me, okay, oh, Jesus Christ, I'll give up. Whatever I want, I just point to it. Colin Gage, just walked the dog. Time for a bottle of red wine. Good for you, mate. Good for you, Colin. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Nice to hear from you as well. Stephen Forex, don't forget to announce these on your main channel with a link to this channel. A lot more subs will see it then. Okay, you can see. I mean, if you actually go to the homepage of my main channel, you will see my other channel. You just press that, and it's and there it is. Stephen Forex, if you won that lotto, you can buy all those Sunday social clubs and close them down, Ed. Yeah, I could do. But then I'd feel sad. That'd be a bit cruel. I mean, where would they go? The thing is, the end result of that, all those 20-stone women with loud mouths and tattoos would be, roaming around the bloody streets making a nuisance. At least when they're in the social club, you know where they are. Smoot, every day the city gets smaller and smaller. Seems to be the best description of Pattaya. I wonder if other expats living there feel the same. Yeah, see, that's it. No, expats. Retirement is a massive subject. But I've thought, if I was going to retire anywhere, well, Pattaya, I know that place quite well now. But it's the idea of just choosing a place like that and then staying there for the rest of your life. I like to go other places, to be honest with you. I still have a traveling, gene in me somewhere. And, I can't seem to shake it off. Okay, up to me. 14 days' time, be in Bangkok, then Pattaya, then Koh Chang. Bangkok, Pattaya, Koh Chang, a great city, a great seaside resort. Well, it's a knocking shop by the sea, isn't it, Pattaya? And then you've got a beautiful tropical island, Koh Chang. That sounds like a fantastic plan, that, mate. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Danish Bacon, point and talk more loudly. The British version of a foreign language. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, just for Ang, what a depressing statement. I'm not sure which one you mean. David Coleman, Eddie points at things and just rambles off in English and things they understand them. Well, if you point at something, they do understand you. They do. The Walking Dude, what's the difference between shagging a 20-stone woman and riding a scooter? Nothing. Both are great fun until your mates found out. Absolutely, mate. Jesus, have you ever done that? Have you ever had a night out with the lads and you got too pissed and then you pull something that you regret, and you woke up the next morning and, oh my God almighty, God, how am I going to get air out of the house with anyone seeing it? What have I done? Oh my God. And then whereas if you wake up next to a tasty bird, you want all your neighbors to see it. You leave the house the next morning with you slam the bloody door to wake up. Oh, look what I'm with. Look what I'm with. Yeah, we've all been a bit of a lad in our times. David Coleman, my dream is to visit Venice. Love it. Oh, there's nowhere like it in the world. I tell you, one of the first traveling things I'd done was in Italy. Two countries I grew up, because as you know, I was being a fan of the movies. Two countries I grew up wanting to visit. One of them was Italy and the other was Brazil. And now I've traveled through both of those countries and they both lived up to expectations. Absolutely magnificent. But Venice, I went there about 30 years ago. And when they still had the Italian lira, and wow, oh my wonderful. But there's nowhere like it in the world. It's a weird little place. I spent it must be an Italian tour. I spent a few days in Venice. But it's the simple things rather than one of those gondolas. I know they're very iconic, but I mean, you know, they're still a bit namby-pamby. I wouldn't go on one. Apparently very expensive. But one of the great, the understated great highlights of a nighttime, in terms of atmosphere, nighttime atmosphere, there's nowhere like it. Nowhere. It's got the same spooky, unique, unique nighttime atmosphere as Venice. And I got a boat, a water taxi, not a water taxi, a water bus of a nighttime going right round the Grand Canal in Venice. And it only cost me, you know, in terms of today, a few quid, so a couple of quid, something like that. Not much at all, but I tell you what, that was wonderful. I sat on the front of that water bus going around the Grand Canal in Venice at a night time, the S-Bend, you know, under the, all the bridges, the famous bridges and everything. Wonderful. David, your dream to visit Venice, go see it, man. Go see it. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's see. Judge Farang, you were confused with the lady with the walking dude. Okay, whatever. Walking dude. Teddy, nice to hear from you, Teddy. Hello to Teddy. Anyway, listen, I've been on for an hour and 45 minutes tonight. You know, anything else we can talk about? We've talked about some bizarre subjects, haven't we, in this live stream? We talked about Harry H. Corbett. We talked about Sooty. We talked about the worst. Anyone out there who's curious about who is the worst TV double comedy act of all time, go and Google Mike and Bernie Winters. Bloody awful, absolute rubbish. The catchphrase, honestly, the catchphrase of Mike and Bernie Winters, especially the gormless one, Bernie. The catchphrase is, like as if he's celebrating being a gormless twat. I mean, it was a catchphrase like, what kind of bloody gormless cat? Go and watch the program if you want to. Oh my, 45 minutes of my life wasted watching that crap. Oh my God. Anyway, Danish Bacon. I love the Bond movie filmed in Venice. There's more than one. From Russia with Love, which is probably one of my favorites. Brilliant. That's the best of the Sean Connery. From Russia with Love had scenes in Venice, yes, wonderful stuff, but also Moonraker had scenes in Venice. Lots of iconic, lots of iconic. Don't Look Now with Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie, one of my favorite movies of the 70s, was filmed in Venice. Lovely stuff, wonderful. Stephen Fordex, 70s comedy, prison dramas, fake Rolex, Harry Enfield, Yorkshireman. Go see on YouTube. Absolutely, we've really talked about a lot of stuff. Harold Batterson, hi Ed. Hell yeah! Okay, it's you know. Hello, Harold Batterson. Lieutenant Columbo's glass eye. I preferred snob. No, I think you're talking about when that gormless twat. Bernie, of the rubbishy Mike and Bernie Winters duo. I think they didn't have a fallout, probably over money. And each formed his own series, didn't he? And I think his dog, a St. Bernard, was called Snorbit. I think that's what you mean. Oh, yeah, the dog. You know, I could watch the dog. I could definitely watch the dog all day, but not that bloody load of, not its owner. Definitely not. Hi, Rob. Everton are now getting beat 3-2 and had a man sent off. Jesus, I'm sorry to hear that. Best of luck to them anyway. Duffler, great impressions. Is that a Charles Dickens novelist? Great. Oh no, that was something else. Okay, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Heather Morton, after 20 years doing it, Thailand, the best place is South Koh Jom. As someone who's visited Thailand many, many, many times, I can quite honestly say, Heather, I've never heard of it. Dutch Farang, Venice Future Grand Water Park. Future Grand Water Park, south of South Europe. Absolutely. Danish bacon, he's heard of it. Heather Morton, I've been in Koh Jom, amazing island. I love islands. I did 4 islands on my last trip. Actually, 4, if you include Koh Chang. 4, wonderful stuff. I'll give it a look. Absolutely give it a look. Thanks for that recommendation anyway, Heather. And Nomad Overseas, just watched the short clip of those Winter's jokes. Nearly put me who through the screen in rage. Absolutely, in an era of absolutely amazing comedy, unbelievable comedy talent from Frankie Howard to Ronnie Barker. Morecambe and Wise, I wasn't that keen, but, you know, they were legends. The 2 Ronnies, Mike Howard, Leonard Rossiter. Such an era of the most amazing, brilliant comedy talent. You had that pair of bloody pricks, Mike and Bernie. Oh, rubbish. Duffler. Did Bernie Winters run off with your 20-stone wife? Oh, you've sussed me. Oh, I knew someone would guess it sooner or later. Leeds. Good evening, Eddie. Good evening, Leeds. Hello to Leeds, anyway. Jolly Fox. Eddie, when I lived and studied in England, I used to visit a free house that had old speckled hen, hand-pulled draft. It was awesome. Absolutely. It's probably not as good in a can, but yeah, I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean. Okay, where are we now? Danish bacon. Koh Jom is near Koh Lantern and PP. Well, I've been to PP Island. And another vlogger actually put on his community page, put like which area of islands do you prefer, the Gulf of Thailand or the Andaman Sea? And the overwhelming one was the Andaman Sea. So perhaps perhaps maybe I should pay another visit to that place. JD, caught the legend live. Nice to hear from you, JD. Nice to hear from you. Heather Martin, you go to Crabby Town and transport to the port. It's not hard. Well, to be honest with you, Heather, at my age, there's a lot of things that are not hard, but that's another story. Sorry if I'm a bit vulgar there. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that info anyway. Thanks for that info. Yeah, I'd love to pay another visit to that area. It really would. Kippo Macmac, retired in a village in Iceland. They have bars in the country lanes with red lights outside. Only 200 baht for boom boom. 200 baht. Yeah, I think you're talking bloody bargain basement there, mate. You're talking bargain basement. It's not even the Aldi or the Lidls of boom boom. You're talking the quick save. The quick save of you're talking the pound shop of boom boom there, mate. Not for me. Let's see. Citizen Mikey, have you ever stopped in Singapore on the way to Thailand? No, I haven't. I've never actually. I've never stopped in Singapore. I don't like talking about places I've never been to, but I've not heard good reports about Singapore. A lot of people use the word sterile. I think that means character. Characterless. And also, it's notoriously expensive. I've never been to Singapore. I was in Malaysia once. And I had the opportunity to go to Singapore, but I went the opposite direction and went to, what's it called? Penang instead in Malaysia. But I don't think that's for me somehow, that place. Rob, my favourites were Steptoe and Son and also On the Buses. Oh, poor old Olive died recently, didn't she? You know, On the Buses, Olive. You know, Arthur. She died quite recently. Did Anna Karen? Apparently, she was quite glamorous in her room, but she created one of the most iconic females, you know, in TV, didn't she? She died recently. Harvey Wisdom, Eddie, when will you upload the e-beggars rant? Should ruffle a few feathers. Oh, it wouldn't be the first time I've ruffled a few feathers. David Coleman, I learned Spanish a bit, but if you don't use it, you soon forget. Yeah, you can forget languages. You can't know that much about them. Popcorn. I had to wait at Bangkok Airport Customs, and they had a small black and white TV watching the Lavender Hill mob, and were pissing themselves laughing at it. Some people laugh at it. Okay. David Coleman, oh my God, I hate fat women with tattoos. So do I. Can't always help being fat, but you know, tattoos inexcusable. Love Thy Neighbor, Yogi Bear. Love Thy Neighbor was a great sitcom. It's not allowed now, too close to the bone. I can't even quote some lines from Love Thy Neighbor. It would seriously get me into trouble. It really, really would. Kippo Macmac. Arthur used to say, "You stupid great lump." Well, that's a nice way of describing his wife, isn't it? Okay, listen. An hour and 55 minutes, okay? I've got a few things that I wrote down that we could talk about. We found enough to talk about anyway. There's been no thanks for you guys. We found enough to talk about anyway. I've got a pie and a jack of potato in the oven. I've got nice speckled hen. You know, so it's going to be dinner time soon. I've got a friend coming around tonight. We're going to get absolutely probably pissed together. It's as we usually do, and talk about football. Well, like I said, I wrote down a few things here. And which we could possibly talk about, but we found enough to talk about anyway. Sunday, there seems to be more people around on a Sunday afternoon than there are in the early hours of the morning. So listen, we're knocking on now for 2 hours, not far off 2 hours. This stream has gone really, really well. Like you say, I'm glad that I've done this stream. I really want to build up the watch hours on this channel and maybe get this channel moving. But there will be regular streams. I'll reiterate, I know I said it earlier, I would absolutely love to do some outdoor afternoon or maybe even evening streams. If I was to do a live stream outdoors in a bar or a restaurant or whatever, I'd have to use their Wi-Fi because I live in the southwest of England and the Wi-Fi is bloody. Well, sorry, I mean the internet connection. You know, the phone connection on your smart. It's dreadful down there. So I'd have to really look into that anyway. Let's see. You could say. And Nomads Overseas. Yes, this is a good time for the stream. Thank you. Dave Litch, Reggie Perrin, the original was the best. Yeah, Leonard Ross is that wonderful actor. John Mitch, hi Eddie, fancy bumping into you here on a Sunday. By the way, have you thought about visiting the German FKK club? I've thought about it. I've thought of let's put that on the screen again. An FKK. I'd love to, but I've seen places like that in Hamburg and maybe Frankfurt. Germany's a wonderful country to travel through, but I don't trust those places. I think you can so easily get ripped off in places like that. I really have, unless you can tell me differently, John. Unless you can tell me different. I don't trust places in Hamburg or anywhere in that part of the world, really. I mean, the thing is, Thailand and those kind of countries, Cambodia, they're not really tourist trap places. They're really quite safe. But in places like Hamburg and and some of those German cities. They may look like some lovely women there, but you slip up once and you can get ripped off big time. Unless, of course, you can tell me differently, John. Let's see. Heather Morton knows he has no time to puke. Okay. Hi, Rob. My mum used to love open all hours and porridge. I kind of wonder, would open all hours be totally politically correct nowadays? Because Ronnie Barker used to take he had to stutter, didn't he? And he used to make it. Well, he was making a mock. Maybe someone now would say, you can't make fun of someone with a stutter in this day and age. So, it's. I wonder would that be allowed nowadays? Oh, and Carry On Camping, wonderful, wonderful actors, Sid James and all the other crowd in the Carry On, absolutely wonderful. Carry On Camping, at the beginning of that, you see this blonde girl where she shows in, and it was quite, it was quite daring for its day, absolutely wonderful. They're in a cinema at the start of the movie, aren't they? And it turns out they're watching this nudist movie, and an actor like Sid James was so amazingly talented. He could even speak the most ordinary lines and make them sound hilarious. Like his missus is really embarrassed that she's watching this nudist movie. She says, "Oh, I don't know where to look." And Sid James says, "I do." Yeah, absolutely brilliant. What made those Carry On movies work, really, is that they had such talented actors, brilliant, real comedy actors, brilliant characters. Yeah, absolutely. Spitz Energy. It was a good commentary about notifying a live stream on your other channel. Yeah, that was a good comment. And yeah, okay, that sounds like a good idea. That does sound like, I like to say, this is all experimental stuff. I like the good thing about this show. I'm very relaxed on this one because I'm doing these live streams when I feel up to it, because you're not always up to a live stream, even if you're advertising. You've got to make sure. I mean, once I advertised a live stream and then I had something to eat, which didn't go down very well, and I had to cancel it, and I hate doing that. So at least when I'm doing these ones, I'm kind of up for it. But yeah, you're quite right, Spitz, Andy. Quite right. Nice to hear from you. Leeds, Rise and Damp was good. No, it wasn't. It was great. Owen, sure you wouldn't get away with some of Only Fools and all. We'll get that off the screen, We'll get that off the screen. Okay. Rise and Damp was another cracking show. Yogi Bear, I can't work out how Little Britain got away with things. Do you know something? There's certain eras, certain decades where I just I lost touch with the media or the TV, And Little Britain, I didn't really see a great deal of that. When was that? Was that 90s or it was early 2000s or so? I didn't really see a great deal of that, to be honest with you. Heather Morton, Norman Wisdom was the best ever. Apparently, he was really big in Albania. Apparently, Albania loved Norman Wisdom. Very talented man. David Coleman, Eddie, are you a fan of Cadfael? Don't know who that is. Ah, there's a good comment. Thank you, John Mitch. No, Eddie. The FKK clubs are very safe and straight with fixed prices. Not tourist trap rip-off at all. That's good to hear, John. That's very good to hear. That's very good. No, Eddie. No, Eddie. FK very safe. Okay. Got me thinking now. I'm going to be doing my research on this. Give me an idea now. What I found when I was in Hamburg around that St. Paul's era, you go in any bars, you really, and Frankfurt, you really do have to be careful, because you slip up if a girl approaches you in a bar in Hamburg. She may approach you, sit down, you talk to her. you know, you just smile at it, and she will interpret that to say he's buying me a drink. And the next thing you know, her drink's bloody €50. So you do really, 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 really do have to be careful. But FKK clubs, I don't really know about them, John. But like I say, you know, thanks for that information. I'll be doing my research. Which cities, John? Which cities exactly are you talking about there? Which ones? Kippo Makmak. They love Mr. Bean in Thailand. They show him all the time on Thai TV. I think Mr. Bean is probably universal simply because it's mainly, it's not totally silent, but he's mainly a silent character, isn't he? And that, you know, transfers right throughout languages. You know, there is a movie, I watched it quite recently, Mr. Bean's Holiday, where he's in the French Riviera, quite recently. And that was actually good fun. I actually quite enjoyed that. Duffler, I love Amsterdam for a quick weekend destination. I like it. I mean, since Flybe cancelled their, at Exeter, Flybe doesn't go from Exeter. Amsterdam used to be very, very easy to get to, which is now. It's not, but I wouldn't mind it. Obviously, we've all been through a tough couple of years, and everything's been knackered up over the last couple of years. I don't know what's what over the last couple of years. I don't know the script with Amsterdam anymore. But I wouldn't mind another visit. I wouldn't mind another visit to Amsterdam. Definitely. Wonderful stuff. Schmoots, I think we're onto something with the FKK clubs. Maybe Ed's next adventure. I'd love a report from Ed. Well, I've got to experience it first of all, you know, before I do a report. You know, thinking about it. Spitz Energy, under Enver Hexen, the dictator at the time in Albania. Norman Wisdom was the only films allowed. Really? Only films allowed. Enver Hexen, the dictator of the time in Albania. These are fascinating countries, fascinating facts. Norman Wisdom, the only one, the only one. You give me an idea now. You give me an idea. You know, FKK, well, better do my research, haven't I? Listen, I've got stuff in the oven, okay? I've been on for over 2 hours now. I'm getting hungry. It's after 6 p.m. Smooch, take us along for the FKK experience, okay? Yeah, absolutely. Got to do me research first of all on that one. Anyway, got to do research. But thanks to John Mitch for his input there, for putting that idea into my lauded head. Okay. So listen, I'm going to wrap this up now. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it. It's been on for over 2 hours now. I'm pleased that every for the suggestions everyone's made. It's great having your company on a Sunday afternoon. I think this is a good time to do a live stream because what else is going on? You've only got bloody, all the usual crap on the TV, Stars on Sunday and all that kind of stuff. Okay, Peyton Place and whatever else they're doing it these days. Okay, David Martin, thanks Eddie, great stream. Thank you as well. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up now. It's Sunday evening in Britain. It's afternoon in America. It's probably early hours of the morning in Australia. I'll say thank you everybody for joining in. I'll see you soon. I'll probably be back in the early hours of the morning through the week. But really, it makes me realize that it's a good idea to do this second channel, and we can make something of it together. Form a nice little community. Listen, thanks guys. Have a great day, a great evening, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you soon. Cheers. Okay, I'm going to play out with some. Music.
You told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long. It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.